So the censorship continues. The Biden administration embraces it. So we're suing for details about it, not only about how it affected the 2020 election, but how it's affecting right now the 2024 election. We have new lawsuits over the censorship of Americans, which I think is other than really jailing Trump and other innocents over their First Amendment protected speech, kind of the broadest attack on the First Amendment in the history of America, which is the embrace of the Biden administration of the idea that they can get big tech companies to censor Americans, and there's nothing wrong with that. And we know during the last administration under Trump, these agencies thought they could get Americans to get censored, and they were secretly doing it to help Joe Biden win elections with the censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop. And of course, the HHS and NIH and companies and agencies like that were also getting big tech to censor us on COVID issues. And of course, but the difference is, I think Trump would have shut it all down. I don't know what, I don't think did he know about it? I don't think he knew about the censorship. He certainly wouldn't have approved it, of Hunter Biden's laptop story being pushed by the FBI and the CIA, as we talked about earlier. But the Biden administration has openly embraced it, the president on down. And Judicial Watch filed 2 new Freedom of Information Act lawsuits against 3 federal agencies, powerful federal agencies, the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security and the Office of Director of National Intelligence, which is nominally the lead office for our intelligence community. The first lawsuit was against the Justice Department and Department of Homeland Security, so they're 2 agencies at once. And we sued after the FBI failed to respond to a November 2nd, 2022 request for all records related to the use of Facebook's content request government reporting system by any official employee or contract employee of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So essentially, they were using this system to censor you, dear citizen. The FBI, the allegation is, was using this system to censor you. So Facebook had this special access they granted the government to give them material on which Americans to censor and over what. Same goes for the Department of Homeland Security's Cyber Security and Information Security Agency, which was their election censorship bureau, and the National Security Division of the Justice Department. And they don't want to give us any records about what they were doing with Facebook. It's just incredibly brazen in terms of the lawlessness. There was an October 31st, 2022 report by The Intercept, which is a left-wing publication, by the way, which details how DHS was involved in an expansive effort to influence tech platforms. There was a formalized process for government officials to directly flag content on Facebook or Instagram and request that it be throttled or suppressed through a special Facebook portal that requires a government or law enforcement email to use. So we want to know what they were doing there, and they don't want to tell us. The second lawsuit is against the Department of Justice and the Office of Director of National Intelligence and the Department of Homeland Security for all records concerning any meeting between any government official or employee of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and any of the following Twitter employees between June 1st, 2020 and the present. Yoel Roth, who formerly was basically the chief censor at Twitter. Vijay Gadde, who was one of the lead lawyers in terms of censorship there, and Jim Baker, the former FBI top lawyer who became top lawyer over at Twitter. The reports include, but is not limited to, all related agenda, notes, summaries, reports, transcripts, and similar records. And and we basically want the same information from the Department of Homeland Security and the Office of Director of National Intelligence. Now, all three of those individuals, as I said, were prominent in internal discussions at Twitter about censoring the New York Post Hunter Biden laptop story. Journalist Matt Taibbi revealed on December 2nd, 2022 in the first release of the Twitter files. So it's been well established that the FBI and these other government agencies were regularly meeting with Twitter and trying to convince them to take stuff down, often successfully so, which is a violation of the First Amendment and potentially other laws. So we want the details on it. And as I noted in our press release, the Biden administration's ongoing censorship schemes are a clear and present danger to the First Amendment. It is no surprise these Biden agencies would hide documents that could have further exposed their lawlessness. So they've never really stopped this conduct based on what they've been saying because they're proud of it. In fact, there was a federal judge who highlighted this type of conduct by the White House and the other agencies and tried to enjoin it. And the Biden administration said, no, you can't stop us from doing it. And even though there were findings that they violated the First Amendment, unfortunately, the appellate court said, no, you can't enjoin them from doing it. So what does that mean? They're doing it now. And of course, a lot of this looks back on the effort to rig the 2020 election through censorship by these deep state agencies working secretly hand in glove with these big tech companies to keep information that would harm Joe Biden or Democratic Party partisan interests away from the American people by censoring people on social media like me. Like you, dare I say it. I'm sure you've been censored. You know, how do I know you've been censored? Because if you follow me or Judicial Watch or anyone else who've been censored and you would have been interested in this type of information that was being censored, you're being censored too. If people are withholding information from you by censoring people you follow, the leading Donald Trump, for instance, of course you're being censored. You're just as much of a victim as the person whose post is taken down. And Judicial Watch has got multiple lawsuits and investigations on this issue. Or just a few months ago, we sued DHS for all their records as part of this, election censorship operation called the Election Integrity Partnership. The Cybersecurity and Information Security Agency was the chief censor within the Department of Homeland Security, censoring you. We have lawsuits on that. Lawsuits on the FBI work with social media to suppress Hunter Biden's laptop specifically. And of course, we sued the Secretary of State in California. That's on appeal now, or shortly will be, because they went and asked YouTube to take down a video of Judicial Watch about election issues just before the election. And they did it. And we're still getting censored. And there are different ways of censoring you. You can have your material suppressed, vandalized. YouTube's still doing it to Judicial Watch. Just last week, I think we had 2 videos that YouTube labeled. I talked about the January 6th issue because we had sued for the videos, right? And they labeled, like, for the truth about this. I forget the exact language they used. Maybe we can dig it up. We'll go to YouTube, guys. Maybe we can pull it up and show people how they're mislabeling our material. And they tell people to go look at Wikipedia about January 6th. And they also said go look at Wikipedia about the election disputes of 2020. Wikipedia is a left-wing group. Well, I shouldn't say it's always left-wing, but on matters of public controversy, it's controlled by the left. And by vandalizing our videos, in addition to taking them down outright, with warnings or, for more information because you can't trust Judicial Watch, go here, that's suppression and censorship too. And they do take down our videos. They took down a video of Judicial Watch, I think just last year, on these election controversies. Judicial Watch is I would submit, the nation's leading expert on election integrity disputes. and they're censoring us because they don't like our expertise and what we say. And I know I've been targeted directly and personally. I was deleted off of Twitter for months, and obviously the videos usually on YouTube involve, I'm talking about the work. TikTok has banned me completely. I know some of you don't think I should be on TikTok, but the point is it was another vehicle where millions and billions of people are on, and I was posting Judicial Watch related content. They just banned me. Nope, they didn't give me a specific reason. So the censorship continues. The Biden administration embraces it. So we're suing for details about it, not only about how it affected the 2020 election, but how it's affecting right now the 2024 election, or debates about COVID censorship now, or any other debate. If you think they're going to stop with COVID, they're for instance, the left wants people to be censored if they dissent from the propaganda related to the climate scam. If you don't buy into the climate scam, they want you to be censored. So just don't think it's over because COVID is, for now, retweeted. Not retweeted, retweeted, retreated. Of course, now it's coming back. I don't know if it's literally coming back, but certainly the left wants to start pushing COVID restrictions again. So maybe the censorship will be coming back along with that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.